Hello everybody, it's me, Tomebinder, and in this video I'm going to be continuing Mr. Marston, which is a secret agent series made by Login. It takes place in the world of Ancient Warfare 3, and I am this guy right here, Mr. Marston. In the first episode of this series, I played these episodes 1 and 2. There's also episode 3. Actually, you know what? I think I might have played episode 3 as well, but I have not played episode 4, so I thought I would take a look at that today in this episode. This is essentially just a kind of James Bond's type of secret agent spy story in Ancient Warfare 3. That's really about all you need to know. I managed to escape from prison in episode 1, I continued that escape in episode 2, and now I'm fighting out somewhere in some village in episode 3, and I just left it in this episode, episode 4. So let's read the description and we'll load it in. You've been driving for hours in the heat, because we just left the village, but at last you get to the base that the VIP is being held at. Once there, you stop the car and everyone hops out. This should be quick and easy. So that's all we're going to do, everybody. We're going to break into this base and free this VIP, who seems to be so important. We've done all of our previous endeavors to get to him. Okay, I might turn up my graphics a little bit. Hang on. My graphics are at medium. They should be more at ultra. Let's up the power a little bit. There we go. Up to high. Just turn things on to like that level. And that's really all we're going to need. Wait, I'll turn on weapon particle effects. And let's hope the sounds in the game aren't too loud. I think they'll be okay for you. But anyway, we're in this kind of ravine here. Fairly inaccurate rifle we've been given, but we'll make do with it. Let's go. Okay, so I'd recommend some terrain painting. A little bit more, at least. I see some down over there. A little bit more is going to be helpful. Kind of golden brown choice. Oh gosh, I should probably turn this down a little bit. I thought that was a grenade, but it was just a guy's body. Okay. And some more variety in terms of weapons would be appreciated as well. Because we just have this and the deagle. Here they come. We're the aggressors in this scenario. We're gonna just bust into this camp. I think we know what to do by now. We're just gonna breach and clear. So it's an interesting looking kind of stone camp. Who's shooting me and where? Is that friendly fire? I think it might have been. Okay. Both sides seem to be clear. I'm gonna grab this med kit. Grab a little bit of ammo, and then head upstairs. Really easily. Oh, whoa. Hey. Nice. If I went up the other way, that would have been much more dangerous. Okay, well that time I just had to run face first into their bullets, but yeah. I appreciated that there were multiple different paths you could take there. You had the option to go around and flank, and there is a new gun, actually. Pretty much all the guns in this series are custom modeled, which is nice. They use the custom equipment editors added by J&I recently. Which is nice, because I feel like these creators are often a little bit underused on the workshop, at least right now. They go very well with maps. I'm just barely avoiding getting corner sniped. We've cleared this floor, I believe. Just gonna make sure we're gonna scrounge as much ammo as we can, just to be as tactical as possible. Although we don't really need it. We have 600 rounds here. Level of detail is okay. I would add more, and I would add more variety. I would add like shelves and stuff. Oh boy. Okay. Those guys up here. But yeah, more variety. Maybe a little bit of modular texturing, and more variety in the... This is very, very close here. Oh, that's the VIP. I can just sort of cheese the guards here. Let's heal. Now I wonder if there's like scripted counterattacks once you like enter this room. Oh, nope, we just saved the VIP, but something isn't right. But I don't think there's anything more after this map in the Mr. Marston series. I could be wrong, but I'll look it up one more time. But I think episode 4 is about all we have. Pretty short experience, I have to admit. Let's see here. We definitely breached and we definitely cleared. To be honest, I didn't really have a lot of mortal danger in that map. Yeah, I think that's about it. This map was a bit easier, so it was a welcome change from episode 3, which was colossally difficult at some parts. But yeah, like I said, I recommend a little bit of texturing. Why don't I do what's called a map rework on this map here? I'll just do some very slight very slight recoloring here. The level of detail inside the building, like I said, is okay, but I prefer if you had this kind of detail throughout the map rather than, well, let me find it, not this kind of detail, because if it's just crates, there's not enough variety, but you can have things like shelves and tables thrown around to make it a more realistic looking building, just like that. Basically you just need one shelf. Chairs are good too. Really just anything to add some variety. You don't want to have the map seem monotonous. You could also, if you need to, use prefabs to make a little bit more variety. But again, this one that I'm using right now are just the same thing, crates and barrels. And like I said, I would rather not have only crates in this map. So it's not a crutch you can rely on 100% of the time. So at some points you simply just have to manually add in things like safes and a ceiling lamp, maybe anything like that to add some spice to this map in terms of the visuals. But that's really more or less all I would do. Actually, you know what? I think I'd probably also add just a little more terrain painting. You can actually tell that login has done terrain painting, but the map itself is not coated. And what I mean by that is, if you coat a map with one color, it will prevent these blotches when you paint on that one color. He's painted on the default map color, but you can see it caused this blotchy effect. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint over the entire map with oh, that's actually very, very bright. And I didn't look at this weirdness. When I overlap on the right end, it goes back over to the left end. Whoa, that's interesting. I guess I could be twice as efficient with that method. So I'm not sure if he wants this exact color, but what I would do is coat your entire map with the color that you want for this sand, and that will avoid the blotchy effect. I think actually this might be a bit too bright of a color, so let me just get a different one right here. I think this is okay. So we're just going to coat the whole thing, and that will make it much easier and much more visually pleasing when we do our terrain painting. And I think actually that blotchy effect also tricks your eyes into thinking there's less terrain painting than there actually is, which is why I thought the map could use more, when in fact he had actually done a fair amount of terrain painting. So all I'm going to do now is intersperse in different colors throughout the map. We've got this kind of dustier yellow here that's going to be all around on the default yellow. And you can see it's much more obvious when I put it on the ground than it is on the hills, but that's okay. We'll just do something like this. But we want to use more than one color here. The more colors we can kind of blend together, the better. Now we're going to get a darker color, just like this. Might be a bit too dark now that I'm looking at it. So hang on, we're going to go back to a lighter yellow, like that. And just kind of mix everything together, just like this. And it's kind of a nice little blended color. It looks pretty visually pleasing in my opinion. Just like that. Alright. And we'll do it a little bit more. Maybe we'll get a little bit of a gray. And then bring it back with a different color yellow. And you just have this nice kind of dusty mixed color look. And actually it brings out the modular painting even more if you have things raised up and made a little bit more hilly, so it's not just perfectly flat. I'm glad that you have hills along the edges, so that way the player doesn't see the edges of the map. That's a very good design philosophy to follow. You do not want to have the player able to see the edges of your map, because it makes the map seem smaller and finite. But if you have these hills to block the player from seeing those edges, then it looks infinite. You could be theoretically going anywhere across this map to play. It's just a little visual trick, so you don't want the player to see the edges, and he's done a good job of that by blocking off the edges with these hills. But I'm going to add smaller hills right through here just to make the terrain painting more noticeable and pronounced. Also because it's a little bit more realistic to have a slightly hilly area as opposed to a perfectly flat one. Just going to bring up the hills a little bit outside here. And that's really more or less all we need, and you can see the different colors are brought more into the foreground when they're raised up like that. Although maybe we don't even need it that raised up. We can lower this a bit, just like that. And that's really all I do for this map, to be honest. If I was Login, I would add more detail personally inside, but I think I've told him what I would want to have, and I'm not going to take that all the way to its fullest extent. I would add maybe some more like rubble or flags, strong points, anything like that outside here would help, certainly as well, just to make it feel a little bit less empty. But in terms of the actual concept behind the map, like going through this valley here to breach into the house, this stronghold, it's solid. It's certainly solid. And I did enjoy playing through it the first time. But if you just want to have something to sharpen the map a little bit, this is what I would do. You can totally take my feedback with a grain of salt, by all means, but I just thought I would attempt to rework it in my own way. Well, that's basically all I have to say about this map, everybody. It's pretty short. I knew that a 4-minute video with that gameplay was probably not going to cut it, so I decided I'd throw in a quick rework at the end as well. I'll probably divide the video up into 2 chapters, gameplay and rework. But yeah, certainly did enjoy this map. I felt it was more balanced than the previous one. Just decided to kind of touch it up a little bit because I didn't want the video to be too short. So that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be continuing the Mr. Marston series as long as new maps are uploaded, and I'm going to be making more videos and live streams on this channel in the near future. Though actually right now I am going to be on a road trip, so I won't be able to do any streaming. But there will be videos coming up automatically on this channel. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.